Welcome back to your latest industry recap. A new aircraft order is on the cards, some interesting news at Boeing, and Boom Supersonic updates. Want to begin with Qatar, who are nearing a massive order for new wide-body aircraft, with details expected to be announced in a matter of weeks, thanks to commentary from the airline's CEO, who spoke with Bloomberg in a video interview and did discuss the new order, which they deem pivotal for future growth and renewal plans. Qatar Airways says that the new aircraft order is scheduled to be placed in May as they continue to prepare for the future, analyse financials, among other key things. Talk of the airline's purchase of new commercial aircraft does follow March reporting, which suggested that ongoing analysis was being conducted to determine the best direction for the wide-body contract. While the airline has certainly a healthy backlog of aircraft, this is only expected to grow in the coming years, with the belief that there still isn't enough aircraft in that backlog to cater to the strong demand levels that will be witnessed in the future. Before March, Qatar Airways had already submitted RFEs, or requests for proposals, towards leading plane makers Airbus and Boeing to better understand what could be offered to them in terms of their requirements. For the moment, there has been no confirmation on the direction of this deal, or maybe say subtle hints that we receive about the aircraft likely to be involved. But all options are likely to be on the table, considering the airline's very strong fleet. See, Qatar Airways doesn't rely on just one next-generation type. Instead, it chooses to operate the A350 family quite extensively. It has a reliance on the 787 series and has already placed substantial orders for the upcoming Boeing 777X, which we know to be uncertified. As a result, for Qatar Airways, the opportunity exists to strengthen its commitment to one of these three programs, two of them or all three equally. For the carrier, the direction will simply come down to the requirement for capacity and where they feel these jets will be deployed to carve out a perfect balance. Factors that must also be considered are the impact of political tensions stemming from the United States. It may seem like an overreaction, but it's something that's important for airlines to take a look at when they are putting their faith in a certain product, and the risk that they may face in taking delivery of next-generation jets if challenges were to continue. I'm not necessarily saying that this will stop an order heading in one direction or the other, but it's just an airline doing its due diligence. Why is this order being made though? Well, due to the geographical positioning and business model, this is an airline that faces intense competition from many other giants in its space. The airlines such as Emirates and Etihad are global companies, and both are in the process of modernizing their own business to advance their own market share, eroding competitors' presence in the space. We are talking locations that are all fighting it out to try and increase their tourism levels and prove to the other why they are a more suited option for tourism. The ongoing renewal is going to enhance efficiency and reduce costs, and for the carrier, hope to improve customer satisfaction levels. They know they have to maintain a competitive edge to avoid losing that market share. Furthermore, wide bodies are crucial. Qatar really does focus on long-haul connectivity through its Doha hub, and to sustain market share, they must ensure they have enough aircraft flying on a daily basis, and also their backlog is healthy when you factor in deliveries that go into the 2030s. Beyond the focus strictly on Gulf carriers and those in the Middle East, Turkish Airlines is presenting another challenge with their evolving hub and plan to expand rapidly. Your companies such as Qatar Airways are going to continue facing threats. Over to Boeing's highly touted X-66, the next-generation TTBW experimental plane is expected to see a significant shift in its future. The American plane maker will essentially pause development on the full-scale sustainable flight demonstrator to make necessary adjustments, and instead will focus on ground testing and the validation of the TTBW technology at its very core. Seemingly, the shift in strategy and delay comes as Boeing, which collaborates with NASA on the X-66 projects, believes there needs to be better understanding of the challenges present from both structural and aerodynamic perspectives first. Understanding these challenges is essential for NASA and Boeing, as they believe the X-66 has the potential to bring in a new era of commercial flight, which is the primary focus of the program. NASA believes that while this decision may appear as a setback, it remains the right one, as it represents a move that will result in greater cost effectiveness for their program, with technology developments made right rather than seeing investments wasted on empty promises. The TTBW, or Transonic Truss-Braced Wing as it's known, remains one of the more highly touted concepts for new aircraft, as plane makers and others rush to figure out what the next step in a new era of commercial airplanes will look like, especially as the 2030s are not getting any further away. NASA confirms that current evaluations are going on, including an updated approach with a greater focus on demonstrating thin wing technology, which would have broader implications for multiple aircraft configurations. Ultimately, moving forward, the proposed focus will center around the ground-based testbed that will be tasked with demonstrating the new thin wing technology. And as a result, the current incorporation of a more complex truss-braced wing concept, which utilizes the same thin wing technology but also incorporates structural braces, is being paused for later consideration. That later consideration will be pivotal and is based on what the next few years will look like. Like I said, this is one of the more highly touted designs for the future. Boeing and NASA need to get it right. It is imperative. So therefore, the X-66A is really going to be a watch this space to see how Boeing and NASA work together to try and develop this program. But for the moment, the necessary moving of engineers, which was reported in 2024, is crucial when you consider that there are programs such as the 777X and 737 MAX that remain top of the priority and need to be certified to meet customer requirements. Over to the final story, and Boom Supersonic has announced that it has selected a space at the Colorado Air and Spaceport to support engine testing. The engine tests, which will be located in Watkins, are essential for the Symphony propulsion systems, which will play a role in the construction of eventually Overture. Boom Supersonic highlights that this site was previously utilized for hypersonic engine development, and now will play a role in helping supersonic air travel return to the aviation industry. The company will invest USD 3 to 5 million to prepare for supersonic engine testing, with a commencement date scheduled for later this year, and with the facility just 35 miles away from its headquarters, allowing the company to really establish a strong presence and obviously rapidly evaluate its findings and get a hands-on experience. Supporting the development of the engine is crucial for the long-term prospects of Boom Supersonic's full-scale Overture entering the skies. Boom says that it's rapidly advancing the concept of Symphony and bringing it to reality with the first independently owned supersonic engine test facility, all for less than the cost of, they say, renting a government-provided facility. Additionally, by vertically integrating the propulsion, Boom believes that they should be able to see development of the engine actually accelerate beyond their initial expectations, while they feel that costs will be reduced. While crucial tests for the engine are scheduled to begin in late 2025, there is also expansion efforts already underway in the mind of the company to take on the facility in 2026 to becoming a full-scale testing for the entire Symphony turbofan prototype, which will commence again from a later date. That'll conclude today's industry recap. Very keen to hear your opinion down below in the comments. Thanks a lot for your support. Please take care, do be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow for your next industry recap.
And we'll fly.